Hey everybody and welcome back. Right, well, absolutely nothing has happened since we knocked off last week. So basically I'm just going to get stuck in. The bits haven't arrived to finish off over this side. Neither the screws to put that cover on, nor the spring and what have you that go in here. I did polish the that up. I just popped it on there, you know, see how things look. So any road up, we're going to set two on the other side. Because we've got the gearbox on, we can put the sprocket on, and I've got to make up a little sort of locking screw for the big nut on that, which funnily enough is 6mm. Well, probably that sprocket's made in India and fits the newer bike. So anyway, so we'll put that on, we can put the chain on, we can put the chain guard on, we can put the chain tensioner on, and we could even start looking at the chain case mods, which I'll maybe run through what they are anyway, even if we don't actually get to do them. Because if all this stuff arrives, I want to get this side finished off. Well, what we can do is I'll take the exhaust back off, because as I said, that was just for me to see what it looked like. And we can put the rocker feeds on, and the cover for the tappet adjustments, which I've done. So anyway, let's get stuck in. Right, so I've already put the spacing piece in. Next thing that goes on is that. This great big nut, and I don't have a spanner or a socket. This is about 1 5/8, and mine jump up from after 1.5 to much larger sizes. I think that's as tight on as it will go, because it's dished inside, or it's recessed inside, so it will only go on so far. And as always with sprockets, as long as they're not really loose, the nut's only there to keep them. That's as tight as it will go. Now then, the sprocket is drilled and tapped to take a little, I don't know whether they put a grub screw in, but what I've done is I've taken a 6mm bolt and just turned the head off so that it won't screw all the way in. It'll come to the point where the threads finish, so I can screw it in tightly. And it also puts a Loctite on it. And that is going to stop this from turning anyway. Right, so now that can't come undone. Chain. I'm going to get very messy.
have this jacked up so I can just turn the back way up. Okay, that slides on there. I don't need a grippy long bolt like this, do I? No, I don't. Why do I use a great big long one like that? In fact, I don't. Hang on. Right, I've got shorter bolts. One. Use that to get started because it's an ordinary end, they wobble about on this. But this one actually, it's sort of broken loose inside here. So I can use it to start things, but I can't use it to tighten them. Alright, so there's that. And that. Very good. Now then, the next thing is the chain tensioner. Alright, let's see if we can wangle this in here. I think we want a bit of grease. Goes in there like that, then I get all nasty. Hang on. Move in there. So. I didn't thread that, did I? Get a longer one of them. I think that's just the paint. I don't remember threading the back side of this. No, didn't think I did. Lock washer on, and then let me get a pair of pliers for this. Okie dokie. Oh, come on. Yeah, I should have put this on before I put the wheel in. There we go. That's still wobbly. Jolly good. That goes through. There, like so. be there. Oh, of course I can adjust it. Let me pull the wheel up as far in as it'll go. Right, we'll try again. Pull the wheel back a little bit. Okay, so it's going to be that's unusual. It's got the outside one on. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, of course, Michael, I've put it on the other way around, look. So what we should have really is that like that, and that like that, because that one down there is of course the master link. Well, let me just, no, hang on. That one, do I want it to be that one? Wow, this is getting very... Yeah, it's just going to have to be that one. That one and that one, and I'm going to have to... I'm going to do that one and that one. Okay. Mine stopped working for a minute there. Okie doke. Yeah. That felt like it going. There we go. Voila, and of course this bit on the end is the master link. Right, let me put this chain link in. Well, that was a totally unnecessary struggle, wasn't it? Alright, put our little spring link on, thinking of it as a fish, so it's swimming in that direction. I'm trying not to get in front of the camera, which is always awkward. Okay, that on. Okay, okey-dokey, what did I do with the spring? There it is. So that goes in there. And that comes up and goes on there. And then just looking at this nut. That looks pretty good. So we're out 2 off the top. See that second one off the top? 1, 2, yep. That looks fine. Now of course we'll see how that looks when the weight is on it and it's gone up a little bit. I might possibly want to... size was that? What size was that? Do any of you remember? 7/8 perhaps? Yes. All right. Okay, that's that on. Now then, a lot of walking around here. See what you can see for the minute. Let me move you. I've just popped this banjo bolt in. It's the wrong thread, but I've only gone in about 2 threads just to hold that there, so you can see how those go right up out of the way. And there's a bolt here. I'm going to make a little bracket just to be on the safe side, just to hold them both up there out the way, and that's going to be plenty of space for the chain. If need be, I can always get a slightly longer one of those. I don't think it would go around the back. Would it go around the back of there? Would, but we need, and I don't think I got one, a 90 degree. I don't. Damnation. A 90 degree one there would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Be better still. Let me have a look what it's like round the other side. Yeah, I think that would be alright. So I'm using the only 90 degree ones I've got. Okay, let me go and find a piece of nylon stuff for that. Right, so the last thing I want to do over this side with chains and things is to make a little rubbing pad for there. Because that just touches at rest. Don't forget this is sort of held up in the middle. When I'm on the bike, this is going to be up. It's only going to touch whenever the suspension goes right to the bottom, so it's rare. I think I mentioned this in one of the earlier videos, but that's the only problem I find with this sort of box way of putting the swinging arm in. The box, you know, the actual swinging arm is only down here. If that was just in plates, instead of having to have a box shape around it, we wouldn't have this problem. Anyway, what I'd done is I decided I needed, it sticks out halfway It's neither something nor nothing. So I've just taken that down for it to be out the way. Okay, so I've made this out of some nylon. Right, so that is going to rub on there nicely, and I've made it long this way because what we're going to do is we're going to drill it here, drill through, tap it, and put a little bolt in there, and that way, keep an eye on this. When it wears through, I just take it out and make another one. Okay, so let me drill a hole in this and then mark that, and then we'll drill and tap it. Right, so drilled that, marked that, put a little pop in it. I can just get the drill in. I'm just checking the thread. Do you know, from when I bought the lathe and all that stuff, that auction thing we bought out, I got loads of taps, brand spanking new taps in their boxes, and I don't know how many. This bolt we're going to use is a 1024. How many 1032 taps I've got, but I could only, after a lot of searching, I only managed to find one 1024. Cutting oil on that. Right, we'll try again. That you can hear in the background is the grinder running down. You switch it off and about 10 minutes later it stopped running. That actually is cutting. But I daren't lean on it too much because if it snaps off in there, we're completely screwed. Yes, tiny little chips, but it's a tiny little drill. We're nearly through. And I don't want to go bashing through and damage the paint on the swinging arm. Whoa. I don't know if you heard that noise. I thought it had snapped, but it didn't. Right. That's a reasonable looking hole. Drop more of that into the hole. Come on. That tap hole just turning on the tap. How can you do that? It's got flats. Because it wasn't all the way in. Try again. It's still turning. Hang on, let me get a better tap holder. Right, success without breaking the drill or breaking the tap. So that goes there. Goes on there. That goes back in there. It's an awfully long bolt I've got in there, but never mind. It goes in fine. There we are. Muck on everything. Okay. A nice little rubbing block. Oh, I have leftover curry today. Linda did curry last night. So let me go and have something to eat. That's just about perfect, that. And then we're going to go and put the rocker feeds and things on. Right, I think we're all set to do that. Okay, so while this is a top dead center, like that, I've set these to basically zero clearance, so you can't actually lift them up, but they spin nice and loosely. So, I've put the new, I actually bought a new one thinking the stud was damaged in some way, but of course, as I say, it turned out to be the boss at the back. There's a little pin just there. It turned out to be the boss at the back that was broken off, so that this was going in further than it should, and that's why there wasn't enough stud sticking out to put the little handled nut on. So goes on there, little pin. Oh, by the way, I know I said I'd ordered various things, but guess what? When I ordered the stuff from Hitchcock's, they didn't have, now this is interesting as well, not available, it said, for that spring for the gearbox. So I went online and I found several places selling them. Now, same with the rocker blocks. They have it as being not available. But you go online and there's a bunch of people selling them. They all seem to be from the same manufacturer as well. So why everybody else can get them and Hitchcock's can't, or maybe Hitchcock's don't want to sell that particular brand, I don't know. Alright, so there's that on. Next thing is the rocker feeds. So we have this little doodad that goes in there with a fibre washer on it. Tell you what, I'll put a little bit of grease on that. I might as well. I've greased everything else that screws together to make sure they come apart right. There's something else I was going to tell you about spare parts as well. What else was it? Oh yes, I've got to phone them. Don't think I told you this. BSF studs for the cases. I've searched everywhere. I spent ages online last night trying to find Allen headed 1/4 inch BSF. Nobody had them. And I kept coming up with that really annoying thing with Google where you put in, you know, sort of exactly what it is you want, and they list all these places and you go to them and they haven't got what you want at all. That really teased me off that. I think, you know, come on. So that goes on there like that. Now then we have our what's-its to go in there, and the gasket set includes 4 Doughty washers for these. So isn't that nice? Rather than the fibre ones or copper ones. Okay, so the thing here is we've actually got to how's it going now? Actually, you may remember on mine I've got a flexible piece there. Okay. It comes up and goes over. Actually, these. Oh yeah, they do go a long way. Comes over. And then bends up like that. Now you're shaping. I was going to say we needed one to be longer than the other, but we didn't. Okay, so we can push this in a bit when it's all on everything. And there. And there. So we get that sort of screws in nicely, not fighting its way in. You can see all this, I didn't check. Yes, you can. Make sure it's sort of flat and square to that. It's raining again, by the way. Oh, when I walked up for lunch, I walked past the pond just to see how the melted snow had affected the level. And I was greeted by the sound of lots of frogs jumping into the pond. So this warm weather has really confused them. Right, so we'll put that one on tight. Battery just went off there, but you haven't missed anything because I just put the new one in. Except I've put the spanner down. Oh, no I didn't. There it is. I was just going to say to you that I like to give some support to these. Sometimes the banjo nut, when it tightens up, will grab it and bend them round, which you don't really want. So we'll tighten this one down here. And then we'll do that should be out of the way of everything. Right, I'm going to put the exhaust on. If for no other reason than because a couple of people said, oh, you might not be able to get it on. Well, you can. Yeah, you can still see me. Got quite a wide angle there, haven't I? That in. Lock washer on. Nut. So I was taking a nut off that, so there must be enough room to get a nut on. There we go. I won't tighten that up yet. Put this engine mounting bolt through. Oh, that's right. Actually, I really need to bump it. And there's that. That. That's just to see it. Get in your way, I know, but I'm going to just push that in. A little bit. Yeah, some. There we go. Alright, so what was I doing? Tightening that up. Half inch. Alright, you don't need to see me tighten these couple of bolts up. And the last thing on this side is to put, I can't reach in there, to put the Allen key in. I've said it again, look, I've said it again. It's not an Allen key, it's a Woodruff key. Of course, it doesn't want to go in there. This is annoying, isn't it? Hold on. Right, well, I know I took the camshafts off because that's got to be the tiniest Woodruff key I've ever had. I know it's just holding this onto a taper, but even so, I had to, I don't know how many times I worked on that to get it to fit on. Okay, now look, we'll keep everybody happy. Inlet, exhaust. So we'll put the exhaust on first. Okay, 2 dots to 2 dots. One dot to 1 dot. Then, there it is. Does that go on? Which way does this go on? It's left-hand thread. I would think. Well, I'm not sure which way, so I can check that because I can't put the outer cover on. That surely goes on like that. But I won't tighten it up until I know for sure. Okay. Just interested to see what that looks like. There. Alright, I suppose the next thing we could do is build up the oil pump and everything in here so that as soon as I find some screws, let me phone up now, I can put that on. Right, so timing chest. Now, just noticed the video is getting long, so I'm just going to put the oil filter in. And actually I just put it in and it was being a little bit awkward, so, and I videoed it, so I've just deleted that bit of video and we'll try again. Right, first thing you put in is this long stud. And it's got more thread on this end than that end, because it screws into this end, and then to seal the end off there's a fibre washer and then a nut. Alright, now down at the bottom of this there's a ring that seats this. Okay, so this goes in first. Sure it goes. Seems to be all the way in. Then there's this piece which fits inside that to centre it at this end. Have I gone out of picture? So that's in there like that. Then there's a spring to keep some pressure on it. To be honest, I don't see why, if they were making these things in exact size, they couldn't just make this so it fitted right. So anyway, then this goes on. Come on now. Why isn't that going on? There. And of course where they've welded up this crack, they've maybe made it a little out around, who knows. Seeing the video's long and then I'm prattling around here. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Then there's a fibre washer to seal this end and a nice snazzy domed nut to make this end look nice. There we go. Probably somebody over tightening this that cracked that. You know, it's got to be tight obviously because it's got a seal, but it's got a gasket so it doesn't have to be too tight. Alright, so next week we'll start by putting the oil pumps in. And actually I've just realised, I've done it again. There are 4 BA bolts that hold the end covers on. So I ordered new ones. So what did I do? I ordered 4. But of course there are 2 ends. So I just phoned British Tools and Fasteners, and of course they're closed for the day, but I left a message to ask them to add some BA hex bolts, 1/2 inch long, to that. Alright, so this end is very nice, but this end has got a little bit of pitting in it, and the way this goes in there, the back part really is important to the seal. That's why there's a spring that spring there, pressing this against the back, and that's gets the pumping action going. Because it's a bit like, like on the BSAs and Triumphs with that bush for the crankshaft. If this is worn, this can be pumping away quite happily, but if this isn't a good fit against the surface it's pressed on, then the oil's not going to go from one hole to the other as this moves. It's just going to go in here. You're going to lose oil pressure. So these two holes in the front are to make a little tool so you can lap this in, and we're going to have to do that on one end. All right, so obviously we don't have time to do all that, but anyway, there's the oil filter on. We'll call that it for this week. Next week we'll start off doing this, and hopefully by then the screws and everything will arrive, and we'll just be able to bolt this on, and that will be that side, and maybe the gearbox all done as well. Okay, so that's it for this week. Until next time, you all stay safe and enjoy yourselves.